Demetrice Martin, new UCLA defensive backs coach. Obviously, your name has been everywhere because of one kid, Ellis McCarthy. But talk about, let's start with your defensive backs class. I think that was a position that really needed to be addressed at UCLA this year. You bring Ishmael Adams, Marcus Rios, all these guys. Talk about addressing those needs first.
I think it was a great job of us getting in and identifying the current talent that we had on the team.
Yeah.
As far as seeing the guys that were about to leave and graduate. So, like you said, it was a position area of need.
Yeah.
And attacking the guys that we got committed was a plan.
Yeah.
We put a plan together and was like, hey, we got to get these select guys to be on our team with us, to be able to come in and compete as true freshmen and then help us as far as the future is concerned.
You know, recruiting is such an ongoing process that, you know, it's not a one-day decision. A lot of people think, oh, you know, okay, the kid pops up on January 31st and says, all right, I'll go here.
Yeah.
But, you know, these relationships have been formed,
Right.
in your case, for a couple of years now.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, talk about taking relationships that you've already established and then changing the message a little bit, because that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a trying situation, and the main thing you do is you just hit it on and be straight truthful.
There you go.
Brutal honesty is what I call it, and some may take to it and some may not. But at the end of the day, everybody be able to go to sleep with knowing that they have good karma.
Yeah. That's funny that you mentioned karma in this game, because, you know, we've heard a couple recruits say that the one school that wasn't really negative recruiting that much was UCLA. Do you think that this staff kind of just had a confidence of its own once it kind of got formed? It seemed like you guys kind of addressed the guys that you wanted, went for them, and if the chips fell for you, then it fell for you, and so on.
Well, basically, you're exactly right. Coach Moore came in and he was like, hey, fellas, I don't know a whole lot about this recruiting stuff, but I do know this. It's all about us and what we can do for the kids and what UCLA can provide for the kids. So we took that on and run. My thing is with that is I never tried a negative recruit. Some may take it as negative when you point out factual facts about different schools and things and such like that, but never was going out to bash other guys or other schools and things and such like that.
Yeah. You know, when you look at the makeup of this class, it's addressed so many needs, and yet the one thing over the last few years, there haven't been that many impact players. You bring in a guy like Ellis McCarthy, and all, you know, he's that kind of crown jewel of the class.
Yes.
Talk about your relationship with that family and just the inroads that you made for so long, and then eventually when you found out he wanted to go here, what that was like for you.
Oh wow, it was that part, the end part was great. But
what was take me to that day. Well, you were in home, right?
Yeah, that day it was kind of like maybe I don't know, a sign from upstairs that our in-home visit was scheduled for that day.
Yeah.
I mean, it was already scheduled, and it was kind of like, hey, Libby, his mom, asked me, hey, could you get over here a little bit earlier? You know, some things have happened, and I know Ellis is really anxious to talk with you and Coach as soon as possible. Yeah. I said, okay, well, no problem. So we kind of sped up our our schedule, and we got over there, and one thing just led to another. I mean, you know, it was a great feeling after leaving that home visit, feeling really great that we had a chance to really land this guy, and then the rest was just about, you know, keeping the naysayers or the negative recruiters, you know, out our backyard at that time. Yeah.
You know, when you get a guy like that, I mean, everyone obviously says, wait a second, I thought they were focusing on next year's class. What's this about? And all of a sudden, it starts to snowball. Yeah. And you start seeing a lot of guys kind of start mentioning UCLA and all that kind of stuff. But talk about the class of 2013 and the decision that you guys made to not only go for this year, but to start attacking next year.
Well, I think it was pretty much led, obviously, by Coach Moore, but it was a great decision being that we were so late for this class that we just landed. Yeah. Hey, well, while we're out trying to establish relationships for this 2012 class to address some needs, hey, let's start addressing our needs for the 2013 class too, as far as compiling information, getting transcripts, accumulating film, and all that type of stuff for guys, so we can have a strong early evaluation for 2013.
Talk a little bit about, you know, just the aggressive nature of this staff translating onto the field, because UCLA, I've only covered them for 3 years, but the one thing that I've always been a little that struck me odd is kind of this conservative nature. You know, DBs playing far off the ball, wide receivers really not having the chance to create in traffic. Talk about what you want to do defensively that's maybe a little bit more aggressive.
Just that right there. We will be more aggressive, especially in the back end. we like to be aggressive. We like to tackle. We want to out-hit our opponent every chance we get. And in order to out-hit your opponent, sometimes you got to be closer to them to out-hit them. So, you know, those are the type of things that we will address. And,
music to their ears, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. Me being a secondary guy along with Coach Moore, you know, I'm very excited to change some of the things, as well as some of the players are here right now.
Last thing I have for you is Steve Broussard just said, you know, now that this is over, rest. You know, time to finally relax. You know, I mean, what's the next week like for you? You know, there's so much build up to today. It's like Christmas Day, and then everyone forgets about December 26th.
Right.
And what's your day like? You know, tomorrow.
Well, he calls it rest. I don't know if I would use that adjective. Now it's time to look for a place to stay.
Okay.
Get back to Seattle and get my family moved out here. All those little inner secrecies that kind of, you know, are hidden within the job stuff. So he may call it rest, but you know, still a lot of honeydews out there.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Demetrice Martin, we're all good. Thanks so much for joining us. Fun stuff, and congratulations.
Oh, thanks for having me. Go Bruins.